Hello and welcome to the Smart Connections podcast and the Talk the Path podcast. My name is Anna Sanderlin. I am a warm-line facilitator for the University of Memphis Smart Center. The University of Memphis School of Social Work Smart Research, Training, and Treatment Center aims to provide evidence-based interventions for school-based mental health programming, increase access for school-based behavioral health programming in underserved areas, offer training on best practices in telebehavioral health, develop opportunities to research the use of technology in practice, and provide direct services to the state's most vulnerable populations. You can call the Smart Center at 901-678-1636. The University of Memphis Smart Center, in conjunction with the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, would like to present the Pathways to Behavioral Health Careers Project. The goals of the Pathways Project are to provide education and information on the various career opportunities in the field of behavioral health through presentations, increase interest in students in the field of behavioral health, provide opportunities for guidance with information regarding college, university programming that result in degrees for professions in the field of behavioral health, connect students with students in behavioral health programs and professionals in the field for further research. This podcast will feature students and professionals in the field to give a clear picture of the daily duties of these roles and how they help support their communities.
My name is Berger, and I go by Annie. So if I introduce myself that way, I do go by Annie, but my name is Ann. So just that's how I'm known. So I am in our Family Resource Center in our school district, and my educational background, I have a master's degree in administration. I was a teacher first, and then I went from teaching to school administration, and then I went to our central office, and I was a supervisor with our pre-K program and our McKinney-Vento program, and also our after-school care and our Family Resource Center. And now I'm just serving the Family Resource Center.
Okay, that's great. So it sounds like you have a plethora of experience in the school setting.
I do. I've enjoyed it. Yes, I've been blessed.
Well, that's good. That's great. So where you said you're providing services in Memphis?
No, in Middle Tennessee.
Middle Tennessee. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. That's good. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about your journey to your career path.
Okay. So I started teaching in Texas, and from there, I went to Puerto Rico for a year. That was a great experience. My husband got a job there, and I taught there on an Army base. So that was a really good experience, a different experience. I had grown up in a very small town in Ohio. So going there and just, in a different environment, it was wonderful. So then I came to Tennessee, taught here, and then never thought I'd wanted to be an administrator. Someone actually talked me into getting my master's because they said, your pay will go up. I said, okay.
Okay.
I didn't have children at the time, and I thought, okay, let's do this. So I did. And then a friend of mine was going to open up a school, an elementary school. So I went with her and helped her open up the school. And then I worked at a middle school with another gentleman, and he opened up that school. So I helped him with that.
Oh, wow.
And I never really thought I'd do it. Had my friend not done opening the school, I probably wouldn't have. And then I got into the supervisory role at our central office. So, and I think what has really helped me is I worked at the elementary, middle, and high school level. I worked at all three levels.
Wow.
And I've, it's been such an interesting career now serving families. I served families as an administrator, but usually I called them when something was wrong. So tried to call them when things were right, but sometimes I called them when things were wrong. So this just allows me to serve families in some different ways. So I've really enjoyed it.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of experience and you've helped out so many people. That's commendable.
I've been fortunate, and I've met some great people along the way. And actually, what is wonderful now, there are some of my kindergartners that, I won't say how long ago,
Oh,
who I still talk to. I still talk to them. And I actually went to a training called Trust-Based Relational Intervention. And actually, I think that there are a lot of people in Memphis that use TBRI. And I was at the training, and one of my former kindergartners walked in, and he was at the training too. And I thought,
oh
oh
my
my gosh. So, and he's now 35. I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So, but it was so nice to learn alongside him. So
God.
it was great to see him.
That's great. And you
Wow.
probably had a huge impact on his life. So,
I believe so. We connected on Facebook, and
oh,
that's just nice being able to connect with him again. Yeah.
right. Okay. Good.
Oh, that sounds so exciting. So, with the amazing work that you're doing, did you always know that this is the work that you wanted to do?
I always knew that I wanted to serve families in some way. I wanted to teach, and just some of the background things in my life. Teachers were a big influence on me, so I knew I wanted to be an educator. But going into administration, that was really something I hadn't ever thought about. But the woman who worked with me really encouraged me, and she was a mentor to me. So I went that route, and I was there at the school for many years, and this position opened up to be over our pre-K program and the Family Resource Center. So when that opened up, I thought, oh my gosh, that it's serving in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
As administrators and as teachers, of course, we're serving families, but this allowed me to serve the families in a different way where I can actually dig into things, because one of the things we work with families on is school attendance.
Right.
So most times, not all the time, most times, if kids are chronically absent from school, there's something going on.
Right.
So what we do is we dig. I call us excavators. There's a woman who works with me in our school district, and we call ourselves excavators because we dig. We try to find out what's going on and then try to connect people to those resources. So I didn't know that this would be what I would do, but I always knew it would be something serving people.
Okay.
Mm.
That's good. Sounds like you advocate for the population you serve, especially children.
I
So,
do.
yeah.
Yes. I do. And just trying to create understanding. And I think sometimes when you're in a field where you're helping people or you're doing something that you love, some people don't always understand. They don't understand some of the mindsets behind the families that I'm serving. So a lot of what I do is educate the public
Mhm.
about mindsets and about experiences and why people make the decisions that they do.
Mm. Sounds like a little bit of psychology in there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just a
And
little bit.
a lot I kind of look at it as social work, but
Yeah.
I don't have a social work degree, but
Mhm.
and I need to learn some things. I know I still do, but I think that's probably a good descriptor of it.
Okay. Yeah. How ironic. We're social work majors.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So I know you mentioned how you always want to educate and be a teacher, but did you want to take this path? Like, when did you decide that this was the path I was going to take? Was it after you helped out your friends or?
Yes, actually, what happened was I was an administrator, and I just was getting to a point where it's like I just need to do something different.
Mhm.
And this job came open, and I have an early childhood background, so part of the
Mhm.
job was actually pre-K, being over our pre-K program, and then also the Family Resource Center. I actually, when I applied for the job, I was more interested in the pre-K part. But then when I came into this and saw really the potential, uh, and the families that we served initially when I took the job 7 years ago, we served just a small part of our school district. So I expanded the Family Resource Center so that we could serve the entire district, because there's needs all over our district. I would
Right.
say most school districts, I would say, have needs everywhere. Even if
Mhm.
they're in an affluent area, there are still needs that families have.
Mhm. Okay. Yeah. So,
So, it seems like you have had just experience with all grade levels. So with that being said, if there's anything that you could go back and tell yourself at any grade or at any age, as far as how you got to where you are now, what would you tell yourself?
Any grade or any age. Now I'm going to go back to middle school. And I think this is something that I would have loved in middle school. And even as an adult, you have to remind yourself is not worrying so much about what other people think. Follow your heart, follow your passion. And if it feels right to you, do it. If it doesn't, if you just feel off, don't do it. But really do the things that mean the most to you. So I would say that. And when I was in college, I wanted to be in early childhood education. I don't think in college that I experienced enough of
Right.
just different things to do. I worked during college, so I went to school full time and worked. So there's some things in college I wish I would have experienced. So I would say any experience you have that takes you outside your comfort zone, if it's not too scary, do it.
I need to hear that. I need to
Yeah.
hear it.
Definitely, that's good advice. So, for the people who are interested in childhood education or anything to do with children or administration, do you have any advice for them?
I would say be open-minded,
Mhm.
willing to hear the other side, because we can go into experiences that we're having with people or situations and think that we know the answer. And I think we need to listen. That would be something I would say is be willing to listen, be willing to hear the other side, and and be willing to apologize when you're wrong. Those are things that I think that we all need to do. So, and I would just say this career, anything in education or serving people, you have to care about people, but you also have to care about yourself. And I think people need to consider you're giving of yourself, you're giving from here, and of course you're
Right,
giving from here. So you have to refill your cup. So finding
right,
things to keep your own cup full, you've got to do that. Whether it be laughter or exercise or, being with friends or whatever, you have to do that. And I think there's been times in my career I have not done that enough. And
Mhm.
I don't know if it was just because of what was going on in my career at the time, or it almost just became a habit of being so busy that I didn't do that enough. So I've learned that over the years. So I would tell anyone going into any field, make sure you're taking care of yourself. If you're going to be serving other people, take care of yourself.
Right. And I'm
That's
glad you
great.
said that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You go ahead. I'm glad you said that because, in the helping profession, we get so focused on helping others and we don't focus on ourselves. We don't help ourselves first. We have to be mentally, physically, emotionally available before we can help anyone else. So I'm
Exactly.
glad you said that.
Definitely keep your cup full and take care of yourself for sure. And also be able to figure out, and I don't know if there's a way that you can tell somebody to do this. I think people have to figure it out
Mm-hmm.
and not to take it home.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's hard not to sometimes. You're thinking about people that you're working with, and naturally you're going to be thinking about them, but it's important to set those boundaries. It is
Right.
important. And sometimes that's hard to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely something that um, young clinicians, old clinicians, people who are in school currently, that's definitely something that people need to take away from all experiences, to always keep your professional and your personal life as separate as possible, even though it is like a hard work. Like you said, we work from here. So it can become draining if we don't not necessarily cut it off, but separate the two,
Mhm.
because again, that filling our own cup and making sure we're okay. We can't do that if we're at home thinking about clients or worried about if
Right.
they got what they need with the resources that we gave them. So it's
Mhm.
definitely good advice and something that I've been working on implementing in my last semester until I go into this career. So that's definitely something I've been trying to work on myself.
That's
Right.
great.
I feel like you guys are preaching to me. I needed to hear this today.
Well,
So
and it's
I
good that you
know,
know this now. I
yeah.
think I don't think I realized that when I first started.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So that's good that you know this now. That's good.
Right. That's amazing. Well, Miss Barger, is there anything else you would like to share about your
No, I
career?
just really appreciate you all doing this. And actually, I'm curious. In your program, talking about what we were just talking about, I'm imagining that's something that they teach you. Is that something that they do talk to you all about separating? Is that
Yeah.
something that they really? That's great. That's
Yes, ma'am.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Self-care,
Mm-hmm.
setting boundaries, all
Mm-hmm.
of that.
Mm-hmm.
They
Do you
preach
have
it
a
to us.
lot of people in your program? Are there a lot of students in your program?
How many, Ariane? How many?
It varies. There's like a handful of us right now. Some of us are in the undergrad program still, so they work in a different area. But if I'm not mistaken, there's about 5 or 6 of us that are working in the Smart Center right now.
Okay.
So the graduate students are allowed to do like the clinical services versus the hotline that they have on campus. So Zaria and I have been splitting, as well as one of our other coworkers. We've been splitting up the clients, so it hasn't been as intense as it could be,
Yeah.
but I feel like we have enough to really get our feet wet and really
Yes.
see the importance of taking notes and the importance of billing and our calendars and just really this is a really good start just to see how the profession works and just connecting with clients and making sure that we're speaking up in supervision and having that support. So I think it's been a good start for our career. I definitely have had to pull myself out of a few situations because again, I go home and I think I hope they're doing this. I hope they ate tonight or I hope they get
Yeah.
some rest. And it's like, okay, okay, like in supervision, she's like, Dr. Ellswick has been amazing to work under. And she's just like, no, you have to make sure you keep it separate. Again, this is new, but like you said, some people don't learn that at all.
Right.
Some people really think that, well, what's wrong with me if I'm not thinking about a client? But it's like sometimes you can think so much that it can consume you and you're just disconnected from everything that's going on at home. So I think it's really great that Dr. Ellswick really pushes us to have personal time and make sure that we're implementing self-care and also making sure that we're doing what it is that we're telling our clients to do. Because we don't want to be hypocritical telling our clients to pour into their cups and our cup is completely empty. So I just think it's been an overall really great learning experience.
That's wonderful. And, thinking about taking care of yourself and making connections with your coworkers too. I'm sure you all help each other out. And one thing that I would say also in your field, anyone in the helping field, especially if you're helping individuals or families, this is something in this position. I had worked in our school district for many, many, many years, but I didn't realize all the resources that are on the outside that are available to people. So I always encourage people to find out what resources are available. So you're of course helping people, but there may be some resources out in your community that people don't know about. So we always make sure that we know other resources in the community that we can refer people to, because we may not be the right help for them. They might be somebody else. So that's been very helpful to connect with the community and find out what resources are out there.
Yep. It's important to network.
It sure
Absolutely.
is.
Important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have one more question before we hop off. Can you explain to us, as well as the people that are going to be viewing, what exactly is laugh yoga?
So, laughter yoga, and I call it laughter wellness, but it is laughter yoga is what I got certified in. But I call it laughter wellness because it has to do with breathing and, pausing. And what it is it's laughter, truly laughter. Like if I said to you two right now, imagine that you are talking to your best friend in the world and you guys just saw something really funny and you wanted to laugh and you just laugh. And that's literally, you just start laughing. So what's going to happen is if we all start laughing, it's not, it's intentional laughter. So let's do that real quick. Let's just laugh with me. Okay. Just do it.
Okay. I feel
Okay.
it.
So see what happens is it's intentional laughter that becomes genuine laughter. And what happens in your body when you laugh, you release a lot of good hormones. And also when you laugh, you breathe and your body needs the oxygen. Your blood needs that oxygen. So I learned how to do it because it was under a lot of stress and I got Bell's palsy and I was looking for something to relieve some stress. So that's what I found. And I couldn't find anywhere around here in Tennessee. So I actually went into Georgia and got
Wow.
certified to teach it. So yeah. So
Okay.
you just did a little bit of laughter yoga there.
Okay.
That's
How
so
fun.
interesting.
Yeah. It is great.
Yeah.
It really is. And honestly, I've never heard of that
Mhm.
before.
Yeah. Just
And it
Google it.
sounds,
You'll find out more.
I'm definitely looking it up. I have to share that information with some people. Now I'm interested in the certification myself. What other certifications do you have?
Trauma informed. I've got a trauma informed certification. So I've done a lot of trauma training with ACEs, and then it's trust based relational intervention. I have that as well, and that's that actually came from Dr. Karen Purvis. She developed that, and that has been wonderful to learn about too. So a lot of the trauma certifications, and then of course with my degrees in education in administration. But always learn, keep learning. Don't stop learning.
Great. Oh, that's a good combination of accomplishments.
It has been a good career for sure, and I'm still going.
All right. Z, did you have anything else?
No, I forgot to ask about the laugh yoga, so I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm glad you asked. I love to share about it. It really is a good thing to do. And there are places that people do it. I've done it with kids. I've done it with adults. I've done it in residential places for some young
Wow.
ladies. And it's really great. It is. It's, how can you go wrong laughing?
Right. It seems really beneficial to have.
Yeah,
It
is.
And thank you so much for setting time aside
Thank
to
you.
meet with us.
Yes, thank you.
It's been an honor. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We definitely, like we said, appreciate your time for meeting with us and answering all of our questions. And I actually may have a few more questions to email you about this laugh yoga because I'm definitely more interested in it.
All right.
So thank you so much for coming out, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to listen to our podcast, brought to you by the Smart Connections podcast from the Smart Center at the University of Memphis, as well as the Pathways to Behavioral Health Careers Project. If you or anyone you know needs any information from the Smart Center, please contact us at 901-678-1636 or email us at smartcenter@memphis.edu. You can also learn more about us at our website, memphis.edu/smartcenter.